What up? What up?
What's going on? What's going on, man? What's good? Yo, 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 come on in, man. Come on in. Come on in. Let's talk some football for about 30, 45 minutes, maybe a little longer. You know how we do. Once y'all get talking, we get the show keep it going. I mean, that's how it's supposed to go. I guess y'all the main reason for the show. But we stopping in right quick, man. Talk some back, and I know y'all tired of this topic, but hey, it's still out there. It's still floating, and we finding new news on it every day. So we're gonna talk about the quarterback position and
Still,
get other analysts' thoughts on it. We're gonna talk James Pierce and Brendan Sorsby has parted ways with Texas Tech. We talked about that just a little bit, but
oh
we gonna get
Lord.
deep into it again, man. It's a quarterback field show, so we'll see how it turns out, man. So, um, hey, it happens,
Hey man,
man. It happens.
yeah, man.
But go
Y'all
ahead.
on in, y'all come on in. Dun, dun, dun. Where y'all at? And say, man, what's up to the chat, man? Everybody feeling good. Hopefully, it's not already. I'm saying this early, man. It's 9:09. Hopefully, y'all have already found your peace. Y'all are relaxing, and y'all finna kick it with us for a little bit, man. Talk some Falcon football. Because again, man, all these different things just surrounding around the quarterback position. Of course, mandatory OTAs took place. Started today. We got some great news, but also we keep getting mentioned in just different topics, man. And it's just that season. That it is. What's up, chat? What's happening?
All
Ryan,
season almost here. Almost here.
DBQ, what's happening? RB, say you still in Canada with it? Hey, man, what it do, man? How you feeling?
Hey,
Glad.
knock on Drake door and run.
Hey, DJ Big Q, how you doing? How you doing? What's good, man? Everybody.
Right. What's good?
Mm,
Yeah, y'all come on in, man. Like Ryan say, man, coming in, hit that subscribe button, man. Hit that notification bell. Hit that like button, and just come on in and talk to us, man. We got some topics for you. DBG, what's up, my guy? Q,
mm,
what's good, Q? Hey, Q, we need an intro. We need an intro beat. We need an intro beat because we got to make us an intro, man.
there
I
it
know you
is.
got. I know you got some brewing over there.
Miss
Miss
Drill,
Drill, what's good? What's good? Yeah, I know Q got something brewing over there, man. Q, we need an intro beat. Switchy Sweets, what's up, my guy?
Jay Swish.
Six
Sad,
Seven,
but
what's up? What's good? He said that
hey,
last presser with MJP wasn't convincing to me on about starting this year. He sounded unsure of himself. I mean, that's what we've been saying.
we're gonna get into a little bit of
We're
all
gonna
of
get
that.
into it. I'm telling you.
Really a quarterback conversation, you know what I'm saying? Quick spoiler. I mean, it's quarterback conversation right here, man. DJ Q said bet. He said he got us, man. So we're gonna see what DJ.
Send it to Chris. Send it to Chris. I put together a video and we'll work something out. I'm working with it. I look. I don't know a lot of things about working with this cap that what they call it Canva and CapCut. Yeah, I'm
Right.
learning how to use it very well. I learned how to start putting in movie clips for edits for comic scenes. So yeah, I'm learning. But yeah, look,
Hey, man. Learning is a beautiful thing. You should stop trying to learn.
yeah, you learn something new every day. They say, and
Oh,
that's true. But yeah, we gonna start it off with the big news, man. And I broke it yesterday. Broke it a little late because I having had to take care of business. But
same.
James Pierce Jr. has returned to mandatory minicamp, and this is what we've been waiting on. Been out there showing his face and running through drills. But if y'all been noticing, man, he had been working out anyway. He kept working out, while he was, getting things together with his legal case. He stayed in shape, and that's a good thing. But if you see 680 the fan, they said James Pierce is present for Falcons mandatory minicamp. He's participating in individual work, but is not yet taking part in team drills after missing time away from the team while addressing legal matters. And and like I said, don't read into it that he's not working with the team. He
Yeah.
got to get himself together, and I think his precaution wise because we all know the media lurking. Even though he can't talk to the media, they gonna
Mhm.
find a way to sneak in, and sneak and talk to him. But
Right.
he can't answer any questions, so don't even try to jump ahead of the pack. Don't even try. But go ahead.
No, I'm just no. For me, honestly, I'm happy that James Pierce. I said it yesterday on Falcons Digest, covering it over there. Just I'm happy that he is not speaking to the media. I don't
Agreed.
want James Pierce Jr. to speak to the media. What I want is what he's doing right now, getting back into football shape, because it's different. Working out in the gym is different from being in the shape of playing different sports. You got to get those reps and ramp yourself up, to get to the speed and everything, because there's a lot of different cardio involved. You got to get your wind right, all that good stuff. So he is right where he needs to be, with his band of brothers around the leaders and everything, just around the team. He doesn't need to talk to anybody. Y'all stay away from that man. Let him get. Eventually, I'm pretty sure he's going to eventually come out and talk about it. It doesn't have to be the first doggone day. Let this man go ahead and focus on football, because that's what we all want him to do anyway. 10.5 sacks. Remember, you want him to build off of that. So eventually, I know
Should have
we'll
been
get that.
defensive player of the year.
Yeah, man. We'll get those
Yeah,
talks.
go ahead. Go ahead. You got it. My bad.
They'll get their time. They'll get their time. But right now, I think it's happy. I'm happy that he's focusing on football, Smitty. Seriously. Let me ask you this though.
Agreed. Agreed. They still having more. Okay, go ahead.
Just staying on James Pierce, like, I wonder, do you think that because he has a disposition on the matter, yes, it's still an open case because he has to go through the program, yes, but he still has somewhat of a disposition, and it did happen early. It happened before training camp and all that stuff. Will that help him when it comes to the time to where the NFL wants to lay down the law of how many games that they want to suspend James Pierce? I'm just saying, like, sometimes, matters are not, handled as fast as this one is. And regardless, everybody's in agreement. He's already about to go through the pre-trial thing. And I wonder if that's just going to have any effect in a good way. I'm thinking that it may have a good effect on it, but I want to know your opinion. Everybody's in the chat. Does, him going through the program early, will that sway the NFL at all to possibly like reducing the games to the very bare minimum, or will he get the max regardless?
That's a great question. That's an excellent question. But before I go on, I haven't been doing it this month. Did it last year, got good feedback. Next month is my birthday, man. And if y'all drop super chats this month, it'll go toward next month when I get paid from YouTube. So if y'all want to drop birthday gifts, drop super chats, truly appreciate it. Or y'all can drop thanks up on any video. Definitely appreciate that. But to answer Chris' question, that could be a blessing in disguise. And what I mean by that, if he's going through that program, which is going to be a full year, and he started it already, because he was in Miami last week before he got back to Atlanta. I could see that being a good thing, because if that program starts off great, NFL calls, check on to see how he's going with that. The closer we get to the season and he's gotten to a certain point, I feel like they may be a little bit more lenient to 2 to 4 game suspension, or hell, no suspension at all. Because it still does fall up under the personal conduct policy because of the DV charges. But since they were dropped, the victim dropped the charges. That could mean the NFL may drop the charges as well. Now, it's still up to them, and you know how it is sometimes with athletes. It just all depends on how they view the program and how it's helping him. So as time goes on, it could be a factor as to he may not get a suspension at all. But if he do get a suspension, like I said, expect it to be 4 to 6 games. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at, 4 to 6 games.
I'm looking at the first 4. I'm looking at, if it be anything, I'm thinking about the first 4.
Yeah, I could see that. Absolutely. Miss Drea, thank you as always. Truly appreciate it for the super chat. And she says, happy early birthday. And I appreciate it. Yeah, old man getting old, man, 47 years old, but I've been blessed. Trust me. Hey. I've been blessed. I would not get that away for nothing in the world. The things I've been through, I don't regret nothing, because everything has been a learning lesson for me. And you learn, like I told Chris before we started the show, you learn something new every day, no matter what it is, no matter how old you get, you're gonna learn something new every day. So Ms. Drea, truly appreciate it. That's a nice steak dinner. $20.
Look at that.
She done got me a steak dinner already. Appreciate it.
All right, now. Hey
So
man.
you got anything left on James Pierce? Now one thing that I did say in my video yesterday in my short, um, if he can capitalize, if he misses 4 games,
Uh,
I can see it, being a kind of a factor. But you got to remember, he had a sack in 6 straight games last year. So if he plays in 13 games, he still can get double digits in sacks. Think about it.
yeah, he definitely.
The way he played last year, and if you've been listening to Nate Ollie and Ulbrich, they love Deshaun Hand. Deshaun Hand
Mhm.
is the guy in the middle of that lineup that we've needed for some time. And if he continues, he's the veteran of that line. If he continues in the way he's been playing, and you saw it in San Diego, well, not San Diego, Los Angeles, with Khalil Mack and Bosa, he knows exactly what he's doing with Jalen Walker, James Pierce, um, Ebukam, and Aziz Ojulari. He's going to be effective here as well. So, yeah.
You're like, yeah, I like him as well. I ain't gonna lie, they really like Mason Smith as well. Mason Smith has really been turning heads. And again, sometimes with some guys, it's just oppos. What's happening, fam? But yeah, sometimes you just need oppos, man. Sometimes a change of scenery for guys, it does work, you know. So at the end of the day, I agree with you on the James Pierce thing about the double digits. He still can get that in 13 games. He has the ability. It's going to be year 2, so it's going to be some moves that he's seen from guys that he's just going to be like, know how to counter that already. Boom, 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 boom to your quarterback. And but yeah, man, I agree. I'm happy about James Pierce being back. Ultimately, that's really like the last thing I have to say about that. Just happy that he's back. Happy that he's around the band of brothers again, the leaders of the locker room, and just let him focus on football. I mean, he's been focused on every other thing besides football. Now we have him here. Let's let him focus on football. And even when mandatory camps is over, I still want him to be focused on football. You know what I'm saying? So let's go, JPJ.
Agreed 200%. 6-7, I'm saying 16 sacks for JP this year. And if he plays all 17 games, I could definitely see it. If he plays 13 games, I could still see 10 or 11. So yeah, I can see this. I
Man,
mean,
can you
it's
imagine
not far.
16 sacks in 13 games, though? Can you imagine that?
Oh shit, that defensive player of the year numbers. Think
Man,
about it. I think when Vic Beasley had 16 and a half sacks, it was in about 16 games, 15 or 16 games. So it
mhm.
can be done. And he actually should have been in the MVP, the defensive player of the year conversation. Name never came up and he led league in sacks. When does that ever happen? I'm just saying. But Ms. Drill said, I think the sting is wearing off for the fans. Agreed. Not so sure about the NFL. They got to give him something to mitigate erratic behavior. And that's what I'm saying. As the program goes on, they're going to just keep checking probably once or twice a month up until preseason is over and see where he is. And then make a decision. But they could just say, hey, we want him to learn from this. We're just going to go and get him 4 games to keep it fair, like we did Rasheed Rice, like we did other guys that have, personal conduct policy problems. Not let him slide, because we let him slide, then somebody else do it. We got to let them slide. So it could fare that way as well.
And that's why, I was wondering if the program that he's in could help him, or, I'm saying, or if it doesn't matter if he's screwed anyway. The NFL, they
Right.
can just come out and say, well, you should have never got in trouble in the first place. And then,
Yeah.
drop the hammer. But I'm hoping that, the fact that all this does have like somewhat of a disposition already, he's back with the team. And if he can really stay out of trouble, which I think he's going to do, apply himself and just really just remodel himself, reintroduce himself, I think James Pierce can be all right, but we'll see what happens.
Agreed. But what we gonna do, man? We gonna switch to another topic,
Yeah,
and
almost like the meat and the potatoes right here, the quarterback situation, man.
yeah.
Got to talk about it.
So I'm trying to find the tab so we can switch over. And
Right.
a lot of y'all mad at me when I, brought this up, but I don't be trying to be disrespectful, but I really don't care. A lot of y'all be mad when I talk about the quarterback position, but as I tell y'all all the time, if I didn't keep it real, I wouldn't be me. See, one thing about me, I've been a fan for 36 years. I see things through a different scope than a lot. Y'all came around Mike Vick, started rolling around. I was around 15 years before that happened. A scope of watching Dave Archer, Matt, what his name, Chris Miller, Jeff
Chris Miller.
George, Billy Joe Tolliver, Bobby Abear, just all of those guys. I've seen that. I seen that with my own eyes. So when I've seen bad quarterbacks for the Falcons, I've seen it. So this is why I said I don't have a problem talking about it because I've saw it before. A lot of y'all, if you started when Vic started, you ain't seen bad. You seen when everything turned the corner, so you think that's supposed to be what we made of. I seen things before Vic got here. And no, not Chris Chandler. He was a journeyman back then, but he still led the Falcons to the Super Bowl at quarterback. So I've seen bad. So when I see bad, I got to talk about it. I got to talk about it. It's just that simple. But Michael Penix is what we're talking about right now. And CBS put up an article about 8 players that they think have a 2026 has to be big for them to prove that they still belong with the team that they're with. And at the end of each clip and article, they tell you do they think they will be a bust or they won't bust. But the last name on the list, which I expected, was guess who? Michael Penix. So when you look at
I can only imagine
what he faces in the uphill battle, and yes, he still faces uphill battle because again, like hey Chris, like I've been telling the man, just because he's been here doesn't give him the automatic win. New coach, new system. Every coach, every GM wants their own quarterback. I can't stress that enough. So when you look at this bust situation that they're talking about, before I get into the article, quick question, Chris.
Okay.
Do they have the right to even try to label him a bust after just 2 seasons?
I say no, and mainly because the man was set up for failure from the beginning. And that's my personal opinion. I've always felt like, okay, first of all, the reason why, going back to that draft when we drafted Michael Penix, the main reason, even with the whole workout and all that stuff like that, even with all that, the main reason why I didn't think that we were going to draft Michael Penix is because we just signed this $180 million quarterback that we shouldn't have signed. Now, yes, we did get some kind of use out of Kirk Cousins. Yes, we were 6-3. Yes, it was veteran presence, veteran leadership, all that good stuff, right? Yeah, I'm not trying to degrade any of the stuff that we did get from Kirk. But again, if we just would have drafted Michael Penix from the beginning and let him go with some lumps, possibly we could have got ahead of some curves or some things that were kind of like fool's gold to us, aka Zach Robinson. We probably could have been.
Agreed.
He possibly could have been out the door the same time that Jimmy Lake was, because it was so much on Jimmy Lake. Remember that Jimmy Lake bend but don't break defense? It was so much on that defense, and it was so bad, and our attention was so much on it that we allowed ourselves to be fooled by Zach Robinson and that offense. That was Kirk Cousins being the player coach, as we've seen guys in the past do before, whether if it's NBA, NHL, MLB, whatever. You've heard the term of the player coach. That's what we paid for here. We paid for a player coach because we didn't hire the experience or an experienced guy because we wanted to be buddy-buddy. And that cost us 2 seasons as fans, and the quarterback that you drafted 8th overall, it cost him 2. Because how in the world I'm in here trying to learn, and I got a dude next to me that's trying to learn too. It don't make no sense, Falcon fans. It never did, and it never will. We can go back and run this clock back as many times as we want to. It never made sense. And it never will. And yes, and RB. Yes, my gosh, I hate that we even have to bring this up, but yes. And coming in with the loose lips, sinking the ship, and he sinked our draft pick too. So it's like we had so much that went wrong in the Kirk Cousins era that it's hard to just sit down and just, smile and sing kumbaya about the good times. Because again, even with those good times, there should have been better times for what Falcons fans and for what the front office, aka Arthur Blank, had to pay for. Just saying, man. I don't think they should be. I ain't mean to go on a whole rant.
Yeah, and that's why.
Deal.
Hey man, you gotta do it sometimes. You gotta get it off the chest, bro. You can't hold that shit in. But this is why I always tell y'all. That's why everybody in that front office has to be on one accord. If they were on one accord from the jump, either Kirk Cousins wouldn't have been here or Michael Penix wouldn't have been here. One or the other. When you're on the same accord, these type of mistakes don't happen. If you want to draft Michael Penix, go out and get another veteran that you ain't got to pay a lot of money. They can just come in and be a backup. Just let Penix take his lumps. That's why I said there from the jump. You let the young quarterback take his lumps. He learns on the go, or he keep flip flopping in and out, and it stunts his growth. So if you stunt his growth, these type things that happen, and I feel like this is why they call it a bust. And I ain't even read the article. I just knew that when I saw his name come in last, I kind of knew where it was gonna go. But let's see what they saying right quick, because I'm telling y'all, this to me is just laughable. But it says season number 3, number 8 overall pick in 2024, which we know. But it says he's in a tough spot this summer while he was drafted to be the franchise cornerstone following Atlanta's stunning selection in the 2024 draft. Things are going downhill, and that's not his fault all the way, like Chris said. But it says his third-year quarterback struggled when he was on the field. Is now set to battle Tua Tagovailoa for the starting job while trying to rehab from a torn ACL, and that's a tough thing, trying to come back from an injury like that and have an uphill battle. But the Falcons have entirely new leadership, with Matt Ryan named the president of football and Cunningham GM. Kevin Stefanski brought in as his coach. None of them are tied to making Penix pick work, which creates an even tougher role for him to beat out Tua Tagovailoa. And me and Chris said something about this last October about nobody being tied to him. This is why we said what we said. When a GM does not draft you, he's not obligated to keep you there. And the crazy thing is he's still on the rookie contract for 2 more years. So, well, at least 1 more year, but 2 years if you pick up the 5th-year option, which I told y'all in January I doubt if they do because of the injury history and playing in only 14 games.
Of course. Oh, boy. Bro, this is such a lazy article, bro. I'm sorry. The reason why I say that is, bro,
go ahead,
just about everything that they have said in this article, we've already talked about. We've talked about the possibility of this, the possibility of that, how it could go, guys wanting their own guy, et cetera, et cetera. You could really take this whole article from a live we've done and just slap it on there. Basically my point is it's easy to say because you have all the narratives that are already out there from previous articles, from the NFL talking heads, et cetera, et cetera. It's an easy article to write, man, but you got to dive deep into why Penix is not further along. And I just went into an entire 2-minute, conversation about it. It was never fair to him, and it was similar. I hate to say it, and Falcon fans, y'all may criticize me for it, but it was a similar situation with less talent with Desmond Ridder, another guy that really wasn't set up for success at all. He just got less talent, Michael Penix. And that's the reason why he's further than where he is. But this article is trying to say that Michael Penix is on his way to Desmond Ridder's type status. That's basically what it's saying. Yep. And again, you got to dive deeper into it, man. That's why, I'm so excited about this up and coming season. I'm excited about this coaching staff having their hands on Michael Penix because they are, in my opinion, Michael Penix's last hope to change all this around.
And that's crazy. That's crazy to say that the staff that they just hired is your last hope when you just learning their system. Think about it now. Tua has been around a while, and he played in a system similar to what Tommy Reese ran in Alabama, which I'm sure he's going to see a lot of in Atlanta. So he's already ahead of the curve. This is what people don't understand. They keep looking at it as Penix been here already. He knows the team. Yeah, I get that. I get all of that. But Tua knows the system a little bit better because he's a veteran. He's been around longer. He started way more games. And look at his numbers. He put up solid numbers. Even I think 3 years ago, he led the NFL in passing yards. Think about that. Nearly 70% completion percentage. What does Kevin Stefanski like? Accurate quarterbacks. And what offensive coordinator, head coach don't like accurate quarterbacks?
Exactly.
The only reason Tua had all those interceptions last year, he was making bad throws. So,
but I'm glad you
look at it in that aspect.
I'm glad you said that because
right,
that leads to the next point. Because in my opinion, when Tua started having some those back-to-back head injuries, in my opinion, it kind of like shook Tua's confidence and the way that he was playing the game. At the end of the day, with all the OTA videos that we're seeing, and as much as we're hooping and hollering, and as great as they are, I'm just really taking the gloves off tonight, man. As great as they are, they mean jack because they are not in pads. They out there in shorts and stuff like that, and they're some of the best players. They're some of the best athletes out there on that field in the world. They're supposed to look like that in short. Okay?
Facts.
But when we get in them pads, and also when we start getting against other teams that get paid and are the same with the great amount of players that you are, that's when we're going to really see what's up, because that's when it really matters. We're going to see what the players are like, and we're going to see what the coaching staff is like. And at the end of the day, yes, you go back to saying that this coaching staff is Michael Penix's last hope, because honestly, regardless, if we do get to the end of Michael Penix's rookie contract, should I say, with the Falcons, I still see this regime still here, So that's another reason why I say that. And also with Tua in this regime, Tua only got a 1-year contract. He 1.3. And the thing about it is, if you don't do something with that opportunity, then you're not even going to be here next year anyway. Regardless, Penix has a more, I feel like, an opportunity to be here than Tua, because if Tua doesn't play well, you out the door. If Penix don't play well, there's still a chance him being on the roster, even if he's not the starter. Still got that rookie contract. You're going to kick that out the door? I don't think so. And
let's be real. Even if they don't sign him, but think about this, Chris, and they probably don't think about this part either. Even if they don't resign him to a 5th-year option, they can still resign him as a backup quarterback for a lesser number. Just think about that. They can still resign him for a lesser number. They just don't want to give him what the 5th-year option is, because I'm sure it's going to be a hefty penny, and he hasn't proven himself to earn that money yet. But Ike, he said in multiple presses, Tua doesn't know the system. I don't believe that. Tommy Reese was at Alabama, same school that,
but they wasn't there at the same time.
Attended, but they still run the same similar system that what Nick Saban was running. Look at what they did against Georgia when they beat Georgia. Same damn way, same system. I just don't believe that. They can say that. I just don't believe it, and that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't believe it. It's similar to what everybody's ran for the last 20 years at Alabama. Let's keep it real. You think they finna change it what Nick Saban been doing? Nick Saban handpicked him.
Hey, man.
Think about that.
Just saying it could be a little tweaks or something that could be a little different. That's at the end of the day, the quarterback, they're fully learning the system and how the verbiage is, how everything's going. The thing about it is Michael Penix is progressing, but he's not 11 on 11s ready yet. As we saw today,
Michael
Penix was not clear, to 4 11 on 11s. Of course, like I know everyone's talking about the presser and the confidence factor. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the reason why Michael Penix is looking the way he's looking is because he is progressing. I'm sure he wants to be further than what he is, because he does have this veteran breathing down his neck. And it's like, dang, it's kind of unfair, it maybe in his mind, because it's like, dang, man, I'm still going through this situation, and I can't rush it because I'll set myself back even further. But I also got this veteran who is breathing down my neck, you know what I'm saying, who, wants another opportunity at a big contract, and he may get it off of despite of, despite of me not being able to play, stuff like that. So it's like, it's tough, but I
Right.
do think that the Falcons are very close. If they already haven't made the decision on who they're going to go with, because for those who were here and seen the interview with us and Terrence Mathis the other night, he even said himself, hey, listen, they know exactly who they want to start. They have to make a decision because they need to make a quarterback decision before training camp so guys can get used to who they're going to be running with. And going back to that, thinking about the veteran and
who's healthy right now?
and
Who's healthy right now?
Regardless, Tua is healthy right now. They know, you know what I'm saying?
How long me and A1 been saying that? It just makes sense. It just makes sense, man. It just common sense.
To this game, it's again, I will go out there, and I don't mind saying that I'm a Michael Penix, believer. I'm a supporter of Michael Penix. I like him as far as like what he can be and what he could be for the Falcons. But I can't sit up here, guys, and lie to y'all when the whole entire time I'm realizing that Tua is the more healthier quarterback. Tua is going to get the reps. And of course, the more and more reps that you get, it's going to start automatically looking like, hey, he's the guy. And again, Michael Penix, as I said last night, Michael Penix, they're going to see today if he's going to be cleared. He was not cleared for 11-on-11 contact. So it's still going to be individual, and it's still going to be 7-on-7. The 11-on-11s is going to go to Tua, and those are some of the most important reps. And so again, like, we just got to root for whoever is running out. Like I've said, we've both said this, Smitty, as many times as we can support whoever we want. Whoever's running out there on week 1, that's our quarterback, whether it's Tua or Michael Penix. But I'll tell you one
period. Point blank period.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this: it's tough on Michael. So it's going to be tough on Michael Penix because he's not been fully cleared, and it's June 16th right now. Where are we going to be a month from now? That's a lot of things that can happen in a month's time. Tua can possibly win the team over around this time in a month's time. So it's like, bro, it's tough. But at the end of the day, we got the show must go on. Ain't that what it always say? The show must go on. So it is.
Yeah, one monkey don't stop no show. Absolutely. Ms. Drill said if Tua plays well, I still think he's gone. I don't see another paying what he think he's worth. And all you got to do is look back to Miami. They just paid him $100 million dead cap space. No other team is going to do that. If he gets another contract, he's going to be like a Baker Mayfield or a little bit lower than what Baker makes. He's at like $33 million a year. So he's going to be between 28 and 33 million, in my opinion. And like I said before, if they do sign to a deal, it'll be a 2-year deal, and it'll be a 1 year and then a 1 year option. It's not going to be just back-to-back years with a lot of guaranteed money. So what they may do, front load the contract just like they did with Kirk Cousins, and then by the time you get to that second year, the dead cap space is going to be much less. So they're going to, if they do re-sign him, it's not going to be a lot of money. Trust me, it is going to be where it favors the team, and it's going to be a proven deal from no matter who he plays for from now on, especially with his concussion history, and then the Dolphins having to pay him all that dead cap space. So I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, but the dead is so dead. But
let's finish up this article right quick.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, 6-7, they know. Go ahead. Okay, let me finish this right quick. Yeah, Penix is 4 days as a starter and has completed 59% of his career passes. That's not high at all, even without considering the injury. And this is what they're saying why he will bust. Tagovailoa is a far more proven starter and likely to beat him out for the job this summer. And that's what me and Chris been saying. So they're basically saying what we've been saying for the last 3-4 months. And honestly, coming off a knee injury, We just don't know. This is third knee injury. I know he knows how it goes and how to recover from it. But what is his body saying? What is his body thinking? Hey, man, we can't let this happen no more. So you got to be a little bit careful. So he got a little bit of doubt in the back of his mind. Let's keep it real. I've had 25 surgeries myself, so I know how these things go. I know. And they give you a reason why he probably won't bust. It said for all the struggles he faced on the field and injuries, Penix still offers more upside than Tagovailoa. And they talk about that rocket arm. With the new coaching staff in place, more weapons at his disposal, and that's true. There's still an avenue for him to become a productive starter. And that's what Chris been saying for the last 3 months too.
Absolutely.
So I mean, it's either sink or swim. Point blank, period.
Then that 4-8, again, think about 4 of those 8 games that he did lose. We could have won.
Field goal kicking.
Won. Special teams.
Bad special teams. There you go.
Like, so it's like, again, there is another caveat to that. Of course, the losses are gonna go to him, but just think about it, man. So many times we had him right there and couldn't execute. The offense couldn't keep up with the defense. The defense being the only thing holding the team together. Special teams giving up bad field position, getting gashed on special teams when we're gunning. You know, it just, you got to play all 3 phases. I know special teams is not something that is the most sexiest thing to talk about, but it's a phase of the game that is so important. If you give up short fields all game to a defense, even though 57 sacks or not, they're going to get tired and they can't keep it up. So again,
right.
I'm hoping that these offensive staff is offensive staff for us so they can keep that offense moving. We can stop those red zone issues that's been plaguing us since Matt Ryan retired. Since Matt Ryan was traded, you know, red zone's been an Achilles heel, and we got to fix that. We got the players to do that. You got these 6'6", 6'4" guys, all this stuff like that. This shouldn't be an issue. So again, I'm just hoping that this coaching staff is the coaching staff, because I think we do have the players in order to succeed. You got Kyle Pitts, Drake London just got the bag. Expect him to get the ball more. Bijan Robinson at extension's door. You know, you got Zachariah Branch, who I feel like is going to be an extension of the offense. He's already out there shining. You know, then you still got Jahan Dotson, Olamide Zaccheaus, you know, other guys who are fighting for spots. I'm just saying, man, we've been right there on the cuff and we've had worse. You know, so I'm expecting good things. I'm not expecting, you know what I'm saying, blowing everybody out the door first. Getting good things. Man, I'm expecting good things.
Yep.
MPJ not even right. Yep.
But they said that, but they overall prediction is saying that he will bust.
Yeah.
And, I mean, sometimes it's just things that we can't prevent. We just can't prevent it. Except say MPJ not even running yet. Training camp in 5 weeks. Come on now, we know what's up. But didn't I say that, Chris? I said we still had OTAs, did not participate. We had voluntary minute count last 3 weeks. Now we have mandatory minute count, still not practicing with the team. Training camp is just 4 weeks away.
Yeah.
Think about it.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, again, the most healthy.
But didn't I say if he wasn't ready for training camp 100%? What did I say? PUP list.
And we're gonna see if he ends up there. I know we've seen what Michael Parsons go on there. I've seen a couple other players go on, you know, on Pope list, but hey, Storm Norton, our own player, has gone on Pope list. So it's like we're gonna be seeing, man. It'd be interesting to see if he ends up on the Pope list or not. That would be very interesting, regardless. But either way it goes, though, Smitty, like, again, these guys know that they have to make a decision at quarterback. And I think, honestly, today may have been that deadline to them possibly. Because, again, it's June 16th. You got mandatories. And then even though I think that Penix is going to get some reps in training camp, yes, I do. I don't think it's going to be first team. and again, I want it to
Right.
be, but I have to
Right.
be realistic in what I've seen and just how teams just operate and what makes sense. So but again, man, Tua being your starter, I mean, you've seen what
Yeah.
he's done. He's been one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL just altogether since he's been since he's been in the league. So I mean, regardless, you got him for 1.3. You don't have to pay that crazy salary or dead cap space. And again, so you're kind of playing with house money when it comes to him. So if he goes out there and balls for you, wins you some football games, we just trying to get to the playoffs, right? Regardless of who we like, we just trying to get to the
Yeah.
playoffs.
Pretty much.
Correct? Everybody? Anybody? So
Correct. Correct.
I'm tired of
Yeah.
not being in the playoffs. I'm
But
tired
Zay,
of from the house.
yeah, I'm glad Zay brought this point up because I wanted Matt Jones as well. To me, he's just a better system fit. But this is a name that's still not out the question. He's on a 2-year deal with it, like I said, with Tua, is a 1-year fully guaranteed deal with an option for a second year. And he still could be traded at the deadline because he's still not on a big contract anyway. So if they're struggling and they say, hey, we can bring Matt Jones in, maybe he can straighten up, we can still make that run to the playoffs. So this is just something to keep an eye on. It's just my opinion. I ain't heard it. I don't know if they thinking it. It's just my opinion, but I do know he's still going to be on the trade block because he's not on a long-term deal, especially if they can get a second or third round pick for him. Because they're going through a bit of a rebuild. Not saying it, but they are. But Ryan said Smitty A1 been fighting the same. He's been fighting the same battle in the birdcage. Even folks on his own panel ain't trying to hear that MPJ isn't ready. And honestly, they need the help of these quarterback development. And that's all it is.
That's
No matter if it's Penix, no matter if it's Tua, that's going to be the starter. Point blank, period. And Razor Boy said, Smitty, A1. So with the upside for Penix, they have Strand in the background with the arm talent and the height. And again, I tell y'all again, Strand could be the future, and we don't even know it because they had the perfect staff to develop him. Who's to say he could turn into what Brett Favre was supposed to be? That's why I said the Falcons do not need to make that mistake a second time. They let Brett Favre get away because of ego with Jerry Glanville. Kept trying to start Chris Miller. Didn't give Brett Favre a chance. I think he played in 2 games. And both of those games were well out of the range. Goes to Green Bay on the Mike Holmgren. Rest of history. So don't make the same mistake twice. Southern Mississippi, like I told y'all back in 1991, wasn't a school like it was today. It was a no-name school 35 years ago as far as college football. It came much further in 2026 than it was in 1991.
Right.
Don't make the same mistake twice.
Yeah, I get it. I definitely. My thing is, I want to keep Strand around just like you do, Smitty. And honestly, I don't think we should let him walk out the door. And just the prospect, saying those type of tools, you don't just let that just walk out the door. Regardless, you just don't. You just don't. And I'm happy that Strand is here. I'm happy that he's able to learn from this coaching staff because just like with Penix, this is, I think, the best coaching staff for all quarterbacks. I'm saying Tua and Jack Strand. Shoot, even Trevor Siemian may learn something. But honestly, I think he's on the chopping block. Shoot, man, they don't even have him really even doing anything, honestly. They got, man, Matty Ice, who is proven to be invaluable to the Atlanta Falcons and what they're trying to do now. Like, he's out there throwing goal line passes out there, so on the field. He is pretty much being another coach, and this is supposed to be your president of football. He's supposed to be somewhere, sitting down, sitting in an office somewhere. But no, not Matty Ice, not this president of football. This guy is hands-on. He's on the field with the coaches, with the coordinators and with the players, giving his thoughts, giving his opinions, expert opinions, one of the greatest Falcons, if no, the greatest Falcon in Falcon history overall, especially coming back, being in the front office, providing what he's providing, so giving Ian Cunningham's the pointers. Think about this too. Again, I said it before, I'll say it again. Matt Ryan being in that war room helped Ian Cunningham that night. Just when Ian Cunningham was about to trade out of the 48th pick, Matt said, hold what you got, player. Hold what you got. Avion's still on the board. Let's wait a second. We waited, we were patient, and it was our virtue because we got Avion Terrell. That's veteran experience and somebody who's been there. Even if he hasn't been in the front office, he's been around the game long enough and had built enough relationships before becoming the president of football to where he could make a move like that, just saying, hey, let's just see how it plays out. And you saw how it played out. So again, invaluable Matt Ryan is, and I just had to go on a quick thing, just salute to Matt and being a guy that really wants this franchise to succeed. What he said. What he say? Falcon fans, my goal has not changed. My goal has not changed for this franchise. He still wants that ring. He can't do it as a player, but he can do it from the front office. So I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm loving everything that's happening off the field so far, but of course, we still got to wait for when it matters.
Facts. That's 100% facts. But we had another quick thing we had to talk about before we get out of here, and we're gonna talk about it right quick. Still has to do with the quarterback position, and a name that keeps popping up. Don't know why, but it is, and it's gonna do that because the Falcons are so uncertain at the quarterback position, and this is why you have to get this position solidified because you don't want to just keep talking about this in the next 2-3 years. You just don't.
Again, bruh.
So, Brendan Sorsby has left Texas A&M, and he's out of them. So he's going to try to enter supplemental draft. And what they're saying, they got teams that they think that should be looking at him. And guess whose name comes into this? And it said which team should be interested. And here we go. Jacoby Brissett, Gardner Minshew, and Arizona is one team. Carson Beck doesn't project as a high-end starter. Sorsby would easily clear Beck as the potential franchise passer. So there's the Cardinals. Then you look at the Jets, who just brought back Geno Smith, drafted Cade Klubnik from Clemson, who I think was a reach. He says Sorsby is far more exciting as a developmental player than those two. Then say the Dolphins. 2-year commitment to Malik Willis, but he's far from a sure bet. Sorsby would give them another roll the dice quarterback. The same is true for Atlanta, where Tua, Penix are fighting to see who gets a chance to hold on to the job beyond 2026. So basically, they're saying all these teams in the same spot as far as being unsure at the quarterback. You see the Steelers down there. You see the Colts. You see the Vikings.
All teams that make sense. You know what I'm saying? To me, well, Vikings, Vikings too. But still, it just all those teams, make sense to me. But why we keep getting put into the quarterback situation? Because the quarterback situation is not solidified to the media. We don't have a definite starter right now. No one has been named, even though we're here speculating and we know what direction it's headed. It's headed toward the healthiest quarterback. But regardless, the media, they're going to keep drumming this home. Any quarterback that becomes available, let's just keep it real. Atlanta Falcons are going to be tied to it. Lamar Jackson, I seen what you had did, Smitty, and everything too. Like Lamar Jackson becomes available tomorrow. The Atlanta Falcons are going to be top 3 on his link to him.
Because of the unsure quarterback position.
Even with Tua and Penix, think about that. Even with Tua and Penix, we still going to be.
But see, that's the thing, bro. This is what they don't understand. When you're in quarterback abomination, the media is going to keep attacking it until something happens. That's why I said when you solidify the position, all that goes away. How many times did you hear in the last 14 years when Matt Ryan was here, them bring up another quarterback?
That's
Not
all I'm
once.
saying. That's all I'm
Not
saying with
once. Not once. When you get the quarterback position right, you won't have to hear it no more. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. And DBG said accountability is what these guys are about. Hope it translates the coaches to the players for real. I mean, it got to translate. If it don't translate, we're going to be in the same spot. But this is another thing that y'all need to think about with Sorsby, and this is the reason why I don't think he'll make it to the NFL. If he does, he's going to be on a tight leash. We got rid of Ridley up out here for the same gambling issue. We don't need another headache. He get ball, but his off the field issues with gambling will hurt him because he needs help, and it'll hurt whoever he's near. And do you think a front office is going to trust him not to gamble anymore? I wouldn't. Even though I know people
paid over $1,000.
$10,000. $10,000.
You know what I'm saying? He made worth of bets, bro. Like, and we talk about Calvin doing a couple bets, like one or two, like two or three bets.
On his phone.
This man on the phone. Hundreds of bets. This man was a red shirt, y'all. A red shirt doing bets. Like,
yeah.
We just got rid of that with Calvin Ridley, and you think the Atlanta Falcons want to bring anything? Excuse me, you think Arthur Blank, because a lot of the Falcons who are here now wasn't even there then. And so it's like you want Arthur Blank to bring back in a guy at the quarterback position, nonetheless, the most important position on the field, to gamble with the future of the Falcons, literally on and off the field. That would be, oh my goodness, I almost said something. That would just be crazy, y'all. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. When you get into a situation like this, it's some things you just can't say. And the only name that I bring up in regard rest his soul, look at what happened to Pete Rose.
Bro, that man didn't even, man, oh my goodness.
That man was betting on banned from baseball all those years. Could not get in the Hall of Fame. But they wait till he passed away to put him in. One of the most dumbest things I ever seen. If you forgave him for gambling, you let him back into baseball, let him attend events. How did you not put him in the Hall of Fame while he's alive? Just didn't make sense to me.
Man.
Just didn't make sense.
Man.
So, I mean.
Well, no. RB, no, it's not. It's not that. The thing about it is the JPJ situation. Regardless, the whole situation with JPJ is wrong. The only thing that makes it somewhat okay is because it's a disposition, and not only is the victim okay with the program and everything that goes on, and who knows what'll happen after the year program is over with them, but at the same time, it's like it has a disposition, and the fact that everybody is on the same page about it. The victims, the cops, the lawyers, everyone is in agreement with it. So, and we don't know all the full facts with that. At least with this gambling thing, when they bring that gambling charge, them gambling allegations against you, and start talking about how much money, how many bets, all that stuff like that, when every sport has it out there saying do not bet, it's just, it's just so frowned upon.
Let me say this. Let me say this. In no way I condone DV at all. I don't
ever
hate it. If I ever see a man in front of me and they and my family are close to me and they put their hands on the female, I will pick up a bat and knock their ass out with it. Just telling y'all right now. That's just me. I got to fight in high school for seeing another guy or a younger guy, or he was about my age, probably my age or a year younger, cussing in front of an older lady. You know what I did? Had a book in my hand and went across his head with it. God's my witness. But in this case, let me ask y'all this. I understand DV bad.
Yeah.
That pertains to one player. Yes, they can make your organization look bad. But you know what can hurt your organization even more? Gambling. Because if gambling takes place, you get caught, that player's going to get in trouble, get suspended, you're going to get fined, and depending on what the gambling allegations are and how much the money is, you can lose picks, you can get fined,
Yep.
and they can do whatever they want to do to you. Just put it like that.
Perfect
Because-
example, Smith.
Because that DV is going to go away. But that gambling allegation, just like I said with Pete Rose and those guys, that sticks with you forever.
Bro, think about the tampering charge. Think about the tampering when we got charged.
There you go.
All that money. That was another form of gambling because it was illegal. You wasn't supposed to do it. You did it. You got caught behind it because of your new quarterback just came in the door saying, yes, doing this and doing that. And I spoke to that. You wasn't supposed to say none of that, crazy man. And then you ended up costing us a draft pick. We got fined. The GM got fined, all that stuff like that. That was in a somewhat a gamble. And it backfired against the Falcons in the long run. So it's just like, but again, DV is definitely not even ever okay with me, and I know especially with Smitty either. So it's just not at all.
With DV, you have a better chance of redemption because that's something that you can fix. You can fix gambling too, but gambling is an addiction. DV is not. An addiction is much worse than a bad behavior. And even though it's bad behavior, it's continued bad behavior. There's something that it's hard to break. It just is. Just keeping it real with y'all. I'm not forgiving him for that. If I had the chance to talk to him personally, and I could tell him my story, and Chris know where I'm going with this. If I could tell him my story, he would never look at, bad behavior or none of that. And like I said, it's because he's getting help for it, which he should have probably kept getting help when it bothered him the first time, because I'm sure that's not the first time he had one of those outbursts. I'm just pretty sure of that. I'm sure of it, because there's too many red flags there from what I was, reading and hearing for the last 3-4 months. Just saying. But again, DV, something I don't condone, and it's just something that I feel like can be fixed. But with gambling is, to me, irreversible, because Pete Rose situation, it told us that. Like even on his deathbed, he was still banned from baseball. Months after he died, then they want to lift the ban, it was just too late.
Didn't allow him to smell his flowers while he was here.
That's all. But
James,
one more thing.
I will say, James Pierce.
Okay, go ahead.
James Pierce does have an opportunity to change all this around. He does. And hopefully he takes advantage of it. Hopefully he be's the best person that he can be moving forward, the best version of himself. And hopefully he doesn't get himself into any more stuff, because let's just keep it real, Falcons fans. Yeah, we love what you do on the field, but at the end of the day, bro, you can't get into nothing like for the rest of your career. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it.
Don't want to hear it.
Regardless.
And
you have a 20-year career. We don't want to hear it.
It's still going to be there. But DBG, you absolutely 200% correct. When you lose everything, especially making millions, the depression real. Absolutely. 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 One thing about it, when you lose everything and you making millions, and just like we were talking about, me and Chris were talking about on the show before the show started, Floyd Mayweather's name came up. He felony for writing bad checks. You were just a billionaire a couple of years ago. Bad spending. Poor spending. Right. Bad habits.
Yeah.
It's real, bro. It's real. Look how long it took Mike Tyson to bounce back. Go ahead.
Hold on one second. Yeah. Hey, one thing about it, RB, and hopefully everyone that's watching this knows is it's always a safe space you know what I'm saying, to talk here with me and
Yeah,
Smitty.
say what you got to say.
We're not judging anybody or anything
No,
for anything
at
they talk.
all.
We agree or we are indifferent. Regardless, you know what I'm saying, this is always a place where you can talk about it. And I know some people are trying to make light. Some people are making it very light. I've seen it about the JPJ situation.
Right.
And it's not a light situation. The girl was chased, ran from police, hit all the stuff that the RB is saying in there. All that stuff happened. I don't think it should be necessarily swept under the rug. That's why I said, look, we don't want to hear it. This is it right here. Like, honestly, I don't even want to hear JPJ running a red light. I ain't even gonna cap you down, bro. Because at the end of the day, this right here with the DV and you being able to get off of it, whether she agreed to it, whether you paid for it, however we got here, regardless, at the end of the day, this needs to be the end. You know, because if something else happens, then I'm sorry. Even if it is small, it have to.
I don't want to hear it.
You know, for him.
But remember, RB, I did say this, and I remember saying it because I was there when I said it. I remember saying everybody's seeing her as the victim, but remember him in this case. She wasn't in this thing by herself. We got to pray for his mental space as well. I remember saying that because I know just because he was doing all of that, that he was provoked to do that. And I don't care what nobody say. When you bring money into a situation, the $275,000, and this is why we went over that. So we can look at it from more than one way than, you know, her being a victim. In some ways, he was a victim too. Because that's how DV starts. It's a collective. Somebody want to blame it on one person, it takes two to make a problem. So I'm not saying that he, you know, didn't do none of that, but I just know that God gave both of them a second chance. And I'm going to just leave it at that. Just leave it at that. Yeah, how they did Zachariah Branch right before the draft. He got a ticket for walking on the sidewalk. They tried to blow that up. For what?
Yeah.
But I want to leave y'all with this, and we talked about this already, but we did not talk about it enough, and we missed this
Absolutely
part.
crazy, bro.
And we want to hear what Jeremy Fowler got to say about Tua. But we got another super chat from Ms. Drea. She said,
"Super.
We don't know the facts surrounding JPJ's situation, even though he has to be held accountable. But gambling is a singular choice as well as an addiction that's difficult to kick, and that's all we saying. That's all we saying. It's difficult to kick. You know how hard it is to kick addiction. Think about just drugs in general. Do you know how hard it is to kick drugs? Do you know how hard it is? You have people who have lifelong addiction with drugs. You have people with lifelong addictions to gambling. Addiction is nothing to play with. DV is not an addiction. It's bad, but it's not an addiction. But see, we don't, like she said, we just don't know the full facts. We only know what the media tells us. I'm sure it's deeper than any of us can imagine because we weren't there. Just saying, man. Just saying. Thank you for the super chat and the super sticker, Miss Drea. Truly appreciate it. Truly appreciate it. But I'm waiting on Chris to come back in so we can finish this off the right way. You made it back. I see StreamYard still StreamYard.
They said we got Smitty twice. We just can't let you slide A1. We can't.
Boy, they own one tonight, boy.
They
own one. But yeah, man, this is how we gonna talk about this just a little bit. But Jeremy Fowler, he put up a tweet earlier on NFL, on ESPN. He talked about it, but Matt Hasselbeck talked about this, and I think I saw this the other day as well. But this was a great point by Matt Hasselbeck. I want y'all to listen to this, and I want y'all to tell me what y'all think, because look, these guys. Well, Matt Hasselbeck played quarterback in the NFL, so he know how this works. He know how it works. So let's listen to what he had to say right quick. And then we're going to give a quick response.
Jeremy, what more can you tell us just about where this Falcons quarterback competition stands?
It's not really a competition yet, Laura, because Michael Penix just simply hasn't been able to do much. I'm told from a Falcon source he's done more than they've even anticipated, though. He's come out there, really tried to press the envelope, doing 7-on-7 for weeks now. That next step will be cleared for contact. He's hoping to get that done in late April in time for training camp. And then the battle sort of begins in earnest. Now, one thing in Tua Tagovailoa's favor, I asked the team source, what's the thing that Tua has been doing the best in the spring? I was told accuracy. And what's the most important thing that Kevin Stefanski loves out of a quarterback? He said it publicly, accuracy. So that gives him a little bit of an edge. Even if Michael Penix just needs a little bit of time to recover going into week 1, week 2, Tua can be a spot starter potentially for Penix to jump in there. So
you said late April, but you meant late June or something, right?
So, like, training camp is when Penix is hoping to be ready. So, late July, I guess.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. I was thinking April. We've already passed that. But anyway, April's top of mind in a lot of ways. Okay, Tim, which Atlanta quarterback, and I'm wondering if the accuracy that Jeremy's alluding to has a factor in what you're going to say. Which one do you have more confidence in leading this offense?
I think long-term it's going to be Michael Penix Jr. I don't think that the leadership in Atlanta is ready to just turn the page on Penix. I think this is more about knowing that Penix was not going to be full strength throughout the offseason, not really knowing his availability when the regular season starts, and making sure that you have somebody that can play at a starter level on the roster. That's why I think Tua is there. I think Tua is there to be a placeholder until Penix is ready. Now, if Penix doesn't play well when he gets the opportunity, then sure, you can go back to Tua and if you feel like he can play at a starter level. I actually don't really see this as a competition, the way that it's a competition in Cleveland, and I think a legitimate one. I think this is really about Penix not being fully healthy. I believe he's the starter when he is healthy, and I think that'll be the case until he plays his way into a otherwise situation. So that's how I think it ultimately plays out in Atlanta.
Jeremy, what?
And I ain't got no problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. Because if he takes over when he get healthy, I don't have a problem with that. Because if that's what they see fit and that's their plan, I don't have no problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. Because like I said earlier, I don't believe he's here after this year anyway, because of his injury history. Just saying, you're not giving him a long-term contract, so he's just a bridge guy. So I'm not mad at that at all. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, seriously, it does. I mean, long term, that's what I'm thinking from the jump as well, man. Just he's a bridge guy. I had called him a bridge in Atlanta before. He's just a bridge, man. Like he's trying to get another contract, another big contract. If he plays well, he may get it. Not necessarily with the Falcons, but the Arizona Cardinals, the Pittsburgh Steelers, all those teams that was on that list talking about Sorsby. While they try to throw the Falcons up there, I said all those teams could use Tua as well. So he could possibly, earn himself another contract. Probably not as big as his first contract, still another contract that's pretty good for himself with another team. Or, I said if the price is right, maybe he could still be with Atlanta. Who knows? But at the end of the day, we got to go out there and play those weeks of football and see what happens. And ultimately, I agree, though. I think Penix is the long-term solution. I think the GM and everybody, so they see the talent with Penix. And I don't think that we necessarily want to go draft another quarterback and necessarily start this whole cycle all over again. So
I said that already. If neither one of them work out this year, I definitely see them going to get a veteran next year. Another veteran, rather. I just don't see. That's just my opinion. That's just me. I'm sorry. I might be wrong. I just don't see it. It just don't make sense. Because you have a win now team with the weapons that we have, strong defense. You just don't start over at the quarterback position again. Just doesn't make sense. And I'm going to stick to that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, look at it. Again, we saw what Jared Goff got switched for Matthew Stafford because they felt like they needed somebody that can get the ball down the field into the.
And how did that work out, Chris? Super Bowl.
Bling, bling.
And it worked out for Detroit too, because they made it to the NFC Championship game a couple of years ago. So it worked out for both teams. Just saying.
Overall, you just look at it. I mean, Super Bowl ring, and you got an MVP in Stafford, and it's just, bro. And then, like, they're going to let him keep on playing as long as he want to, as they should. I mean, he's brought y'all to the promised land multiple times, and they're getting close. So I can definitely see veteran quarterback, man. I do not see the Falcons, necessarily drafting somebody in next year's draft, starting this all over again and making this even more of a circus. Because then, guess who will be starting to turn into? The Cleveland Browns.
Right.
We don't want to do that either.
Y'all get mad when I throw out Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow. We talked about both of those quarterbacks. But think about it. If it worked for the Rams, Falcons pop up with a Super Bowl by bringing in one of those guys. Are we going to be talking about that then? No. We're going to be in the middle of the street dancing, throwing bother, but we ain't not going to act like those New York Knicks fans. But trust me, we going to be happy.
I ain't going to lie. The last thing
winning cures all, man.
The last thing that's happening to me is going to jail winning the championship.
These fools tore a hood off a school bus. Come on now.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. We have a long drought. You know what I'm saying? 68 years for the Hawks, about shooting existence for the Falcons. I still don't see Atlanta acting that crazy. We should not be acting that crazy to the point to where people.
Excuse my language. That was not crazy. That was just utterly stupid.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry. I got stuff to do.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I still got stuff to do the next day. I ain't got time to be going to jail. I'm gonna have all.
I bet the one they caught on TV, they probably got fired from their job.
Man, well, listen. It's crazy. People, I'm just saying, how in the world are people getting stabbed too? I don't understand that. Anyway, only in New York, I guess. Then
it won't be in Atlanta, but go ahead, Razor Boy.
How long are you giving the staff for the QBs before they make a decision? Like record-wise, if we're positive heading toward the playoffs or on the brink, I'm thinking halfway through the season. Be honest with you, man, I think as far as with the quarterback situation, man, I think Tua is going to be the front runner. But if Michael Penix can do something in training camp, I think that's why Michael Penix is really like trying to eye that training camp, like Jeremy Fowler's trying to say, because if he can get cleared for 11-on-11 contact, by then we can really have a true quarterback competition. And I think the better talent, which is the guy in the do-rag, in my personal opinion, will win. Yes, the better accurate quarterback, I think, is Tua. But overall, I think with the way that you can fit the ball in the tight windows, the way that the footwork is getting better, because Alex Van Pelt, he's working on with both quarterbacks. So we talked about his footwork being a little happy, before time. But again, he didn't have someone helping him develop that. Now he's having multiple guys helping him with that. But again, AVP looking like, the Godfather ball sitting at the table with it. But still, we're getting everything in the mechanics right. We talked about he got to get that right. So imagine Michael Penix with his mechanics at the best of their ability with that arm. Okay. And he started to get touch on the ball too. We started to see that a little bit before he went down. He started to get a little bit more touch on the ball too. So I'm just telling y'all, man.
He working on it. And you can see it. And the thing is, and you can see a lot of flip-flopping until one of these guys get into a groove. If you see a lot of flip-flopping, then one of these guys get into a real groove and we start winning games, that's who's going to stick. That's who's going to stick. And we've seen it before. It happened with Chris Miller and Bobby Abel back in the day. Chris Miller did go down with an injury, but when he came back, but Bobby Abel was playing well. Bobby Abel stuck in there as a starter for another 4 to 5 games. So it happens, man. And it's just competition. Whoever gets hot at the right time, that's who's going to stick. And that's how it should be. No matter if it's Penix or Tua. If Penix get hot at the right time, you stick with him. If Penix get hot at the right time, you stick with him. It's about getting a hot hand at the right time. Because if you get that hot hand at the right time and you're going towards the playoffs, guess what? It's going to carry through the playoffs. And you got Big John to take some of the pressure off either one of these guys. So all they have to do is be clutch, make the right throws, and get the ball in the end zone. That goes for the coaching staff too.
Yep. I totally agree, brother. Totally agree with that.
That's what it's about, consistency. That's it.
I'm talking about what a quarterback conversation, though. Again, I know it seems like it's like a rerun, guys, but again, we told y'all coming into the offseason with the quarterback situation the way it is, we're going to be the topic of discussion all the time when it comes to quarterback. Any kind of quarterback gets named. Falcons going to get named, going to get attached to it because that's just what they do.
Right. Madrid, if he get the chance, I think MPJ will ball the fuck out.
I mean, give the man an opportunity.
Competent play caller. We see what he did at Washington. If you don't know, go back and look at the tape. This dude threw for 10,000 yards in just 2 years.
All I'm saying is this man played in the national championship game, and it's so crazy because I'm hoping that he doesn't have a setback. And I know I'm not even talking about the quarterback, but I am talking about a teammate then and now, Braylon Trice, who also was in that national championship game. He is on the field. He's taking it light, but he's on the field. Hopefully no setbacks because, again, if we can get Braylon Trice back to what he was, so back at Washington, I have to say that.
He's just a rotational guy. That's a super plus.
Bro, I ain't going to
lie.
Remember,
he was in that class with Dorless. When you talk about pass rush and win rate, Braylon Trice was right there. You saw some tidbits before he got hurt, especially that first year he got hurt. Those, I think, about 4 or 5 plays, you saw that quickness, you saw that motor, you saw that spin. Oh, he got it. He just got to stay healthy. That's all.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Freak Nick, hey, man, look. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, my brother. You got to do what you got to do, man. You got to.
Man, just watch from the beginning, man. We talked about JPJ in the beginning. We talked about him. We don't talk about Michael Penix and this CBS thing. We don't talk about just the quarterback situation together with Penix and Tua. Man, what else we don't talk about? Sorsby. Yeah, we don't talk about Brandon Sorsby because we're getting linked to him again. So, man, it's just been an overall just great Falcon conversation like always with great Falcon folk. Zach Harrison, that's my boy. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I have.
Hey, go to my Twitter.
Yeah, that's my boy. Ain't gonna lie to you. Now, for real, man.
Yeah, Zach, boy, A1 like this.
I'm telling you, bro, because listen, Zach Robinson was on his way to about 7 or 8 sacks, maybe more, before that knee injury. Then he came back. They mismanaged the injury. He's in a knee brace. You put him out there for the most snaps that he's ever played. Then he goes down. So, again, man, 4.5 sacks before he went down. Zach was having a career year and was being very disruptive along that line. I'm still expecting Zach Harrison to come in and pick up right where he left off. Same with Dorless, another guy that I was so happy about when the Falcons drafted, a guy that can move up and down the line, but you see that they're using him. Dorless is going to be a guy that he's going to build off of last season again. I'm expecting a lot of confidence from all these guys. Jalen Walker, JPJ, you know what I'm saying? All these guys, fam. Like, let's go get it. Let's go hunt.
I'll give Terry them some credit. Them last 2 drafts, they put some real talent on the field. I give them credit for that. They did some good scouting. And speaking of scouting, they did work out 2 UFL players, 2 defensive linemen. So
yes.
So we'll see what happened with that. If they sign either guy, I will have that ready for y'all. And before I get out of here, man, somebody told me in my comment box, stick breaking them news. I stick to whatever the hell I want to because I know y'all want to know my thoughts on everything. And some of these videos I throw out come off of fan questions. So if you don't like it, go find another channel. Just keep it real with you. But I do appreciate you tuning in. But A1, man, you know what to do, my dog.
Hey, man, A1 Forever Sports.
Hold on. What my boy Dan Johnson at? That's my guy, man. Dan Johnson. Dan Johnson, boy, he keep it real. Shout out to Dan Johnson, man. Go ahead.
I seen Dan. He came over and showed some love on Falcons Digest. Speaking of, you can catch me over at Falcons Digest and at Hawks Digest as well. For those basketball fans, man, literally come this time next week, we're gonna know exactly what the Hawks have done as far as if they kept that draft pick and drafted one of those guys, traded it away for this Jaylen Brown situation. If we're a part of that, so we have 8-23 Falcons. Hawks. I'm hearing open to moving up or down. So we'll see what happens. But come this time next Tuesday, we'll know what happens in that first round with those guys, and moving forward. But again, like I said, A1 Forever Sports. That's my personal platform on YouTube, and become a member and like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Same with the other two platforms, but also Twitter, A1 Forever, Instagram, A1 Forever, and the real A1 Forever on TikTok. Make sure y'all be generational, because there's always time to be. And I told y'all earlier to find your piece. Hopefully you found it and you got it, and so you can keep it, and that's good.
And they ain't found their piece by now. Just go to sleep and try again tomorrow.
Hang it up, champ.
Ooh, boy. But yeah, man, another good show, man. Another great show. Thank y'all for showing up tonight, man. It was a little late. When you got a job, you got to fit it in when you can. So, that's why I tell y'all, hit that notification bell. When y'all hit that notification bell, whenever we jump on, it give y'all 30 minutes to get ready. 30 minutes before every show. Mr. Dre, we appreciate you. Dre Murphy, we appreciate you. Melvin, we appreciate you, man. DBG, we appreciate you. Zay in the Bag, y'all go check out Zay in the Bag on YouTube, man. He doing his thing on YouTube. He also does music, man. So shout out to Zay. Zay been rocking with me for a long time, man. Zay like a nephew to me. So Zay, thank you, my guy. DBG, we appreciate you, my guy. Always showing up. Shout out to my boy John Higgins, man. My boy John Higgins, I got to call him back tomorrow. He always calls me when news pop. He want to get an understanding. He called. So shout out to my boy John Higgins. Thank you for tuning in. I know he couldn't stay long, but shout out to Big John. But again, man, follow me on Twitter at fatboyslim_21. I'm always over there blowing that thing up. Just ask Chris. Also catch me right here on Smitty Sports Machine on YouTube for the latest Falcon news, fan reactions, fan questions, mailbag questions, and of course live streams. So again, people that throw those super chats out, I appreciate you. Again, if y'all want to donate for my birthday, please do it before the last day of this month. I'll get it sometime next month after my birthday. But trust me, I will appreciate it, because crazy thing is, my birthday is on the 12th. My wedding anniversary is on the 17th, and my wife's birthday is on the 26th. So as you can imagine, I will be broke next month. Just saying. But again, man, I mean, that's just life, bro. I mean, that's what you work for, man, to be happy. But yeah, we got another great show, and we will see y'all soon, because we know some more news gonna break. But as my boy A1 say, find y'all peace today. And what I always say, keep God first. When you keep God first, he try to keep everything on the right path. You just have to have faith in him. So Melvin, yeah, you got a birthday coming up soon. And I got another follower, subscriber, should I say, that has the same birthday as mine. D'Angelo Malone has the same birthday as mine. Michelle Rodriguez from Fabulous birthday. And the legend Bill Cosby has the same birthday as me. So, I mean, hey, I fell into some good company. But that's another story for another day, man. We will see y'all soon, because we know some more news coming. And like Chris said, the NBA draft is next Tuesday. We're going to have y'all posted. We're going to keep y'all posted, but y'all please go check out Chris and Walter over on Hawks Digest so they can keep y'all up to date on that, because trust me, y'all not going to want to miss it, especially if some breaking news happened with a trade for a certain person. Just stay tuned to Hawks Digest. But for my boy Chris, my boy A1, we're gonna roll on out here, man, because I'm hungry, I'm sleepy, and it's been a long day. And we're gonna with that on, we're gonna say peace.
Peace. Kendall Daniels, got my eye on you, dog.